Welcome back, y'all, to another episode of Tony Plays The Binding of Isaac. Hope everyone's doing alright. I myself am doing a little fine on this nice and lovely... I'm recording late. I'm real. I am recording late. For that, I apologize. You know what I gotta say? It is what it is. Anyways, hope everyone's doing alright. Everyone's enjoying their day nice and lovely style. I hope you peeps have had a good day so far. I myself have had a pretty alright day. You know, I enjoyed my morning, then the afternoon came and went to go get food, and now it is currently 11:23 at night and I'm recording a late episode because I suck at recording on time for some reason. I don't know why. I'm sorry. I apologize. Anyways, besides that, the fact that I'm recording mad late, hope everyone's going about their day nice and lovely, you know. The per usual blessings that I try and wish upon all my viewers. Hope everyone's just chilling, killing, one might say, having a good day. I am, one, a little bit tired, but what else is new? I feel like Tony's always tired. But two, I have officially, I shouldn't say I have officially, because I'm gonna be real with you, game is done. And I didn't do much, I'm gonna be real. I didn't really do that much. And I feel like a little, like an asshole, one might say, you know what I mean? Because it's like, well, I feel like everyone else did everything, you know? I feel like other people spent their nights staying up late working on the game, and I was just like fucking doing absolutely nothing. Fuck all, one might say. And I'm just like, oh well, I'm so based, swag. You know what I mean? But like, brother, I just don't know, you know? Like I don't got the skill in me to learn, or I do have the skill in me to learn. I just don't have the skill in me to like help out when it comes to like developing a whole ass game or something. You know what I mean, bro? It's just not my forte. You know what is my forte though? Playing RPGs to a degree, you know? I say to a degree because I'm gonna be real with you. I like some RPGs, but like turn-based RPGs, low-key, if it's not Pokemon or like shit, I'm low-key not a stretch with Persona, but like even then, I haven't played a lot of Persona games. I've played 5, and I had an interest in playing 4 on my PS Vita. That was years back now, but you know what I mean? But dude, I'm just, you know, we're gonna do Beast, by the way, if anyone's wondering. You know, a part of me is just kind of like, RPGs are cool, man. RPGs are very cool modes of game. The old ball and chain, one might say. Am I right, fellas? Am I right, guys? Talking about our wives or something? I don't know. I don't have a wife. Trust me. I am not a married man. But like, bro, what might be thinking, what the hell is Tony talking about? The only reason I mention RPGs is just because this morning I was just chilling, playing some Monster Hunter in voice chat with my friends, and someone had brought up the prospect. I forgot why or how, but someone had brought up the prospect of playing Final Fantasy 14, and all of a sudden it feels like everyone in my friend group has latched on, you know, or at least a decent chunk of people in my friend group have latched on to the idea of playing Final Fantasy 14. Now, I am not against it because I've had an interest in the game for a long time, you know, truth be told. I think Final Fantasy is a real interesting game series. I've played a few. I've played a decent chunk of 15. I've played a small amount of 16, played some of 7, and I've played some of 9. Now I know it's like a wide variety of different games, all of them each on their own, they play differently and stuff like that. You know, Tony, you play Kingdom Hearts? No, never have, and I probably never will. Nothing against the Kingdom Hearts series, it just doesn't call out to me, like, you know. The Kingdom Hearts series doesn't interest me the way it might interest some people or something like that, you know what I mean? trying to like, you know what I mean? You see what I'm trying to do here? Come on. Why is he doing this? Never mind. Wait, why is he doing this? What was the point? But anyways, that aside, just the whole aside, my friends have all of a sudden, and I mean this, all of a sudden have sparked an interest in playing Final Fantasy 14. Now, I'm not against this prospect, you know, I will say. I'm not against playing a game like Final Fantasy 14 at all. I don't think it's a bad game. I never played it myself, truth be told. But my own experience when it comes to MMORPGs, the only one I've really played, and even then, people might definitely be like, Tony, that don't count, is Destiny 2. I have put in a lot of hours of Destiny 2, but if we're looking back on it, like at the end of the day, I wouldn't necessarily call that Tony putting in his numbers, you know, crunching his numbers on an MMORPG. It's more like an FPS first, you know, before anything, truth be told. But it does have a lot of RPG elements, which is why I love the hell out of Destiny 2. But, you know, Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, I've put my time in those games. I've put my hours. And I am to say I'm a little worried, one, when it comes to Final Fantasy, because I'm afraid I might get hooked, truth be told. You know what I mean? I am afraid that I might get hooked on a game like that, because it seems really cool. You know, you have things like mounts, and I will say, I don't know how the individuals feel about this, but it's kind of crazy. They got shit like marriage and stuff like that in Final Fantasy 14, apparently. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like, brother, you know, a part of low-key, a part of me was kind of wondering, like, what's good? You know what I mean? Marriage in Final Fantasy 14, like, what I don't want to say what are we doing in like a derogatory kind of like, that's fucked up Tony kind of way, but that's low-key how it's kind of seeming, because it's like, what? Look, you know, I'm not one to judge, truth be told. You know, I guess this might get into a not a mind or a mentality I have, but you know what I mean. But like, there have been instances, I guess, where kind of like, ow, what the fuck, man? Okay, I'm using the wrong term, the wrong verbiage here. There have not been instances, but pretty sure everyone knows about things like e-dating. I'm pretty sure everyone has at least heard the term at least once or twice. Now, a part of me is kind of like, one, why, what purpose is there to get married in Final Fantasy? Like you can marry someone in Final Fantasy, you know what I mean? And a part of me is like, this kind of just seems like for like some sort of like e-dating or like role-playing like RP scenario kind of deal, you know? And a part of me is just like, not what's up with that, because that seems mean. I don't want to say like what's up with that, because that seems like a mean thing to say, but I don't mean it in a mean way. But a part of me is just kind of like, you know, like it's an interesting thing that you can do in the game. I'm very surprised, because a part of me is like, am I, you know, like, why would I marry someone? That's literally the first thing that comes to mind. And I'm gonna be honest with you, it's the only thing that's sticking to my mind right now. Is just kind of the thought process of like, why would you marry someone in Final Fantasy? Like, my friend told me, because I asked him like, hey, why would you marry? And he's like, oh, well, there's like an exclusive mount. And a part of me is just like, okay, is that it? Like, you know, like you can get a cool mount if you get married in Final Fantasy 14. But then a part of me is like, you know, you guys picking up what I'm putting down, or do I sound insane at the moment, you know? You guys picking up what I'm putting down, or do I sound like I'm taking crazy pills of sorts? Because a part of me is low-key thinking that, man. It's just like, whoa. why? You know, I can't help but think it. I apologize if it might be rude or insensitive thing to ask, but a part of me just can't help but think like, why, I guess, would you get married, you know? You know what I mean? Tony baffled by the concept of marriage. And it's like, that's not, it might sound like that's what I'm going for, but that's not the case. I'm more so baffled by the concept of marriage in a video game. Because it's kind of like, you know, I guess it would be nice to like marry your, you know, if you had a wife that played Final Fantasy, you could like marry her in Final Fantasy 14 and then kind of like, not show off would not be the term, but you know, you could be like, I'm married to this person in Final Fantasy 14 in real life. But then a part of me is also like, question mark card, you know? Why though? I don't know, bro. Deniers in shambles. Secret room deniers in shambles right now. Secret room deniers on suicide watch, dare I say. Might be thinking, Tony, what the fuck are you talking about? My friends are of the opinion that it is almost never worth it to what's the word I'm thinking of? My friends are of the opinion that it's almost never worth it to go for secret rooms. If you have an item that can spawn like items, it's never worth it to go for secret rooms because the item pool isn't that good. Like the items you will get from the secret room, there's a whole bunch of bad in there that makes it like, why would you even go for this? And you know what I have to say to that, bro? You are delusional, because that is not true. We got nothing but peak, you know, marijuana. You smoke it if you wanna, geeked up, playing Xbox all day. Song is stuck in my head, by the way, I apologize, y'all. But it's just like, brother, you know what I mean? Brother, you're missing out, You're missing out, you know, your denial of the beauty that is secret room loot pool is preventing you from getting the craziest, most devious runs / item draws in the game. And all I have to say is, you're missing out, brother. That's all I gotta say, you know, marijuana. You could smoke it if you wanna, geeked up, playing Xbox all day. That song has been stuck in my head, honestly, the entire like afternoon, because I saw one freaking video that dared to have that audio. If you guys know the audio, you guys might be, you know, you guys will be part of the joke. If you don't know the audio, you guys probably just think I'm crazy. I don't know what it is, but I cannot escape that audio because it's always a fucking Fallout clip, man. I'm being so dead ass too. It is always a Fallout clip that has that stupid ass geeked up playing Xbox all day playing in it. Each and every single time. And that shit is so funny to me. You know, I'm not hating because I think that shit is mad fucking funny. But it's like, why? Why is it always a Fallout clip? It's Fallout New Vegas or 3 or 4. But like, you know, in general, it's just the Fallout and that song go together. It geeked up playing Xbox all day. The shit is, I'm gonna be real with you, mad funny, you know? Personally, you know, I will say personally, to me, I think that shit is hilarious. Some people out there probably like, Tony, whatever you're describing here does not sound funny. You are stupid. You know, I gotta say my bad, bro. I'm sorry, I'm just geeked up playing Xbox all day. Juicy J, my goat of the 3-6. The Mafia 6 one might say. It's so peak. Okay, how are we gonna do this? So, bam. Actually, here, do that. Easy money. Now I have to find the item room, which for some reason is 10,000 meters away from the pits of hell. I don't know why I came in here. I think looking at the map that super secret room couldn't exist if the item room was anywhere connected here. I don't know. Who cares? Geeked up playing Xbox all day. You know what sucks? I still gotta stay up to edit this video. Oh, come on, dude. What the fuck? What the freak, my guy? Marijuana. Not bad. This fucking song is stuck in my head, dude. Geeked up playing Xbox all day. I'm still gonna have to stay up to freaking edit this, or not edit, but you know, I have to make sure this video is rendered properly and then uploaded on, like, you know, the proper, uploaded and like titled and set for the proper timing. I'm gonna end up going to bed late tonight, but it's whatever. I should not be doing this. I will say that, you know, I definitely need to. What's the word I'm thinking of? Get a better schedule? I need to get a better recording schedule. I feel like, I don't know, man. I feel like my recording schedule is just out the window, if you would even fucking call it a schedule. Whenever I have any sort of free time that I'm not hanging out with friends or something like that, is immediately spent, boom, hopping on the game. Like Demon Baby, actually. Crazy opinion, but I like that item a lot. Don't you want me like I want you, baby? How you guys feel about karaoke, chat? Chat, he's losing it again. Guys, he's losing it again. He's calling people chat. And I promise I'm not losing it. I promise what I'm saying has purpose, and I have not lost my marbles or whatever. I only kind of question this because recently my friend has been like wanting to go do karaoke, but I have like no experience doing it, and it's like, Tony, you don't need experience to do karaoke, you just like sing songs. But part of me is just kind of like, yeah, like, not to sound mean or whatever, but it's like, if karaoke is dead ass just like singing songs with your friends, what's stopping me from just kind of like doing that on the reg, like, already? You feel me? I feel like a part of me already kind of just does that all the time. Just, especially lately, I don't know what it is. Lately, we've been jamming out on that Spotify Jam. Low key, one of the best add-ons they've had in a long time. You feel me? It doesn't happen a lot when Spotify does something right, and they do it damn right. But in my opinion, jams have been that. If you somehow don't know what a Spotify Jam is, it's literally like you and your friends hop into a joined group link, and you guys can each queue up your own songs and stuff like that for Spotify. It's, in my opinion, really freaking cool. And I'm not surprised by it per se, you know what I mean? But it's like, you know, it's like, it's really cool that this is a thing you can do, you know? It's awesome. And I guess a part of me is low-key a little surprised because it's not that I think of Spotify negatively necessarily, but what I hear about like how they pay artists and stuff like that, I'm not necessarily, you know, ready to glaze or defend Spotify outright. Why did I walk out? Is he fucking stupid? You know, a part of me is not like ready to glaze and defend Spotify just outright all of a sudden. A part of me does kind of have, not morals is the word. I do have morals. I should have phrased this better, but you know what I mean? You know, I hope you guys know what I mean, because I feel like I'm losing the plot low-key. Unk has lost the plot. But oh, he's stoned. I'm stupid. Hello? He didn't blow up? Okay. I feel like I have not been speaking properly, I guess is the term. What am I trying to say here, bruh? What is Tony trying to say here? From what I know, Spotify doesn't necessarily pay people well to begin with. So part of me is kind of like, I'm not defending this company because one, they suck for like the common folk, you know what I mean? It's crazy if like a multi-million-dollar company can't pay artists proper fees, especially if it's something like an indie artist or something like that, you know what I mean? I think if I remember correctly, Spotify like pays the worst to artists in terms of like streams. Like you need the most streams per dollar on Spotify compared to like other sites and stuff, like Tidal or something. Like who uses Tidal? One, you know, am I right, guys? Who uses Tidal? Duh, who would do such a thing? Right, guys? Right, guys? It doesn't work. The fool. Mr. Hamolacria doesn't work, but you know what? That's fine. It does. What? Hamolacria does work. What the hell? Interesting. I never thought. I guess it kind of works. It's from my orbiting tiers, which is really interesting, but that's fucking sick, dude. What the hell? I was not expecting that to work out in the end. That's awesome. Whatever. But you know, oh well, whatever. Not oh well, whatever. That's really cool, but it's like, you know, sick. Interesting. Okay. So, be thinking, Tony, what the hell you doing? I'm gonna walk my ass back. Because I have to, I don't have to, but I want to go to the shop. I want to see if I can get this, you know, get something decent at least out of it. Fuck you, dude. You motherfucker, you got me. Okay, a part of me is like Diplopia is really good, but a part of me is also like, what am I gonna use Diplopia for? I get, you feel me? That's what a part of me is kind of asking, is what are we using Diplopia on necessarily? I don't know. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't know what we're using Diplopia on, so we just leave. You know, am I right, fellas? Am I right? If you're wondering, Tony, maybe the content, not the content, but the fucking, what the fuck are you saying? One, but also like, you're a little lacking on the commentary. I apologize. Once again, I said I'm pretty fucking tired and I have to go to work tomorrow too, you know. So my ass shouldn't be up this late, but what can you do? What can you do? What can Dost do or whatever? Oh, but I guess to kind of not necessarily go back to the well of a talking point that was this one, but you know, me and my friends are getting into Final Fantasy. And a part of me is one, low-key, not afraid because I think I'm gonna hate it, but I'm afraid that I might get into it and I might want to keep playing the game a lot. You know what I mean? It's kind of a dumb reason to be afraid, you know. It's kind of like, oh, Tony, it's a cop-out answer one, and it's like, yeah, it low-key might be a cop-out answer, but it's also, I'm gonna be honest, it's also the goddamn truth in that a part of me is kind of like, what if I play it and I actually really like Final Fantasy 14, you know what I mean? And then I have to pay the subscription and they already got me, you know? That's essentially where I'm coming from. It's like, I'm gonna pay the subscription and at that point they already got me in their grasp, they already got me in their clutches. I'm paying money to fucking play Final Fantasy 14 and it's over, they already got my ass, you know? That is low-key what I'm afraid of. Bro's afraid of spending money? Yes, a little bit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I am a little bit afraid of spending money. I like to keep my money safe or use it on purchases that I, you know, save it for something like maybe buying a house later in life. Not like that's necessarily super feasible for someone in my age bracket, but you know, neither here nor there. Neither here nor there if I'm to speak my mind on it, you know, other than the fact that like there's a good chance not many people in my generation will ever be able to afford like buying a house and living in that compared to you know, generations past or something along those lines. But I'm not here to talk about that right now, you know what I mean? I'm here to just kind of chillax and play my Isaac game. You know, I lost. I'll say speaking of my Isaac game, but this is not related to Isaac at all. But my ass has not uploaded a fucking, what's it called? Small dive into video in a while. And I just want to say, my bad, y'all. One, you know, my fault, OG. Yo, he's so goated. He's so fucking goated at this game. That's me, bro. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, Tony, you fucking crazy character, you. I'd be thinking, what is the point of all this? It's funny. If I'm gonna be honest with you, that's what the point of all this is that it's really fucking funny. Because this entire shit is useless as all hell. If we had, you know what? Here, I have an idea. I have an idea. But I shoot 3 times. Okay, I don't know what the hell I did, but I managed to upgrade something. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, I don't know what the fuck I did, but something somewhere got mixed up. I now shoot 3 tiers at once. Drop this. We're gonna drop that. Take one of you. Take the other one of you. Not like it matters because that's now it's gonna convert into a crack key. And we're gonna have to take the crack key. Now you might be thinking, Tony, why did you do what you did just earlier in that room? Now, what are they gonna do now? Yes, that's all I gotta say. You bring up a very valid point. However, what are they gonna do now? Deadass, someone out there probably thinking, Tony, why the fuck did you do that? Why did you like get all crazy mode on the goddamn whatever it's called there? And I'm gonna be real with you, I'm being honest when I say this. This is not a joke. This is me being 100% honest, because it was fucking funny. It might be a little crazy to believe, or you guys might just think, one, wow, this guy is absolutely a brain dead idiot. But it was funny. Just to prove that I can, you know what I mean? Just not out of spite, because out of spite makes it seem like it comes from a place of hate. But I love Isaac. I could never hate a game like this. I could never hate a game this good. So it did not come from a place of hate. Literally solely because of the fact that I could have broken the game there. You know, I could have gambled. Fucking what? Honestly, if I'm being real with you, I gambled potential to even unlock Tainted Eden, which was the whole reason I did this run in the first place, was to unlock Tainted Eden. I gambled losing it because I decided to drop everything in order to, you know, just kind of fuck around. But it was funny, that's for sure. And I can say that it's something that I did, you know? What was it? It was 2 Omega pennies into Diplopias of Diplopias, and it was kind of peak. It was very funny, you know what I mean, man? It's just, God, it was based. It was a based move. But regardless, I'm excited. I'm excited to play Final Fantasy XIV. I've never necessarily, I kind of have Destiny especially, but you know, Destiny's different. Destiny has 3 different classes. It has Titan, Hunter, Warlock. It's like a real simplified kind of MMORPG where it's like there's 3 classes and then each of those classes has their own like subset of things. Like, you know, like you have, what's the word I'm thinking of? You Well of Radiance Warlock compared to a Nova Bomb Warlock compared to a Stormcaller or like Chaos Reach Warlock, you know? They are all completely different classes and they all play not similar to each other at all, other than maybe the sole fact that they all take place on Warlock, so they'll have things like usually playing around Warlock's nades or like his just ability spams and stuff like that. You know, maybe like the gameplay loop might be very similar across all classes, which is just trying to spam your abilities, but like actually how, like abilities wise and stuff like that, they're completely different characters, and it's cool. You know, the thing is though with Destiny is that like there's like a whole bunch of self-sufficiency, you know what I mean? The thing with Destiny is that it doesn't necessarily promote having like a crazy team comp in the aspect you might think, you know? Like, cause from what my friend told me, apparently dungeons have like locked in roles and raids have locked in roles in Final Fantasy where it's 1 healer, 2 DPS, 1 tank. And a part of me is like, that's kind of cool. But then it's also like, you know, it's cool because I never had a game where you had a necessary team comp, like a comp was necessary to play the content. Because in Destiny, I'm be real with you, if you really wanted to, like if you really, like you didn't have to play optimally, you just wanted to play the game, you could low-key just kind of you and your friends hop on, run like 6 Well of Radiance Warlocks or something like that, you know what I mean? Or 6 Thunder Crashes. Because there was a build for each character to make them like self-sufficient. You didn't have to worry about anything crazy like happening or shit like that, you know? And it's like, I'm just not used to that necessarily, I guess. So it's gonna be real interesting to kind of like deal with that when I play with my friend, because you know, like trust me, there are many a build out there that sole purpose is to like do DPS and also be crazy self-sufficient, keeping yourself alive in Destiny. Like there is, what's the word I'm thinking of? One of my favorite builds or something like that is just going Hunter, Arcblade Hunter, and doing what is it? What's the stupid ass? Arcblade Hunter going combination blow and then just I forgot the dodge melee, but it would essentially be you dodge. When you dodge, you get a melee bonus. An increase to your melee range. So you would dodge, and my bad. You would dodge, get an increase to your melee range, and if you dodge near an enemy, you would get a what's the word I'm thinking of? What's the word? You would get a bonus to your melee. You would get your melee energy back. So if say your melee was on cooldown, you dodge next to an enemy, boom, your melee is no longer on cooldown. You now have fucking full melee to use. So really good in that aspect. So essentially it would boil down to melee an enemy to, like, you know, just hit them, dodge near them to get your melee back and also increase your melee lunge, and then once you meleeed post lunge and got a kill, you would build up a stack of something called combination blow. What combination blow did is every time you got a melee kill, it would grant you an escalating damage bonus, and then you would proceed to run a exotic armor piece such as Liar's Handshake, which after you used a powered melee or after you get hit, your next melee will do increased damage and also heal you for a chunk of damage done. So the entire gameplay loop boiled down to melee an enemy, get 1 stack combination blow, dodge, get your melee back, melee the same enemy, melee another enemy, get another stack of combination blow, while also, because your first melee hit was a charge melee, your second one is now building up a stack of combination blow and also getting increased damage and healing you at the same time. And you would just rinse and repeat that. It was a crazy, amazing solo target hunter build that had sustainability because you didn't need to kill an enemy to heal with combination blow or Liar's Handshake. You just needed to hit an enemy to heal. So you could literally just single target one enemy, keep meleeing them with combination blow and Liar's Handshake, and get off crazy solid damage and also decent heals, like surprisingly decent heals. And say you threw in another thing like a 1-2 punch shotgun into the mix, it was over. It was already, you have already won, there's no need. You know what I mean? And it's like Destiny has a power fantasy of letting you able to one-man everything in the game, you know? You can do things without a team, you just need to have the right build and the right skill. Whereas Final Fantasy, it's like, from what I know, from what it sounds like, it's like a team game, you know? You need you and your bros in order to like do shit. Anyways, we got another one. Sick. I want to thank y'all for watching. If you guys did enjoy, greatly appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good day and or good night, depending on the time reviewing this. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace out.